true art believers, and welcome to Matt Pierson's drawing extravaganza. Hello, and welcome to 100 Days of Drawing. This is Pierson here. It's your boy Pierson, right? Today is day 72 of 100 Days of Drawing, and many more to come after 100 days. But I'm just setting up a uh, a goal line of 100 days. So, without further ado, I am going to knock this out because I want to spend my evening enjoying myself a little bit. So, I'm going to do a little bit of drawing and get it out of the park. Alrighty, so let's start this skull drawing. And now, all right. How's everyone doing today? All right, so I'm going to do another skull drawing. I got to fix this chair. There we go. Got to fix this chair. So, for those who've been watching this, know that I do a simple drawing technique, which is called, well, to be honest with you, I don't know the actual term. I think it's called reductive or subtractive or erasure, or it's basically drawing by erasing, and then so it's subtractive and additive at the same time. But you start out by massing out the background as one neutral tone so that you have a base tone to work with, and that kind of saves you some time later on in a drawing. It's a nice little thing to do. I like it, although it's an incredibly messy way of drawing, right? Charcoal's just flying left and right, just spills all over the place, and you're just like trying to get rid of it, right? So it's a very, very messy way to draw. Yeah, so it's a very messy way of drawing, but it yields a certain aesthetic that you can't really fake it, right? Or at least from my experience, I haven't yet to see like a person who's tried to make a fake looking reductive drawing. And if that was the case, like, why would you do that? Wouldn't you just do a reductive type drawing, as opposed to trying to like make a fake one that looks like a reductive drawing? Why don't you just do it? It's probably easier to do it that way than to kind of fake it. So you just you have to mass out the entire background a flat tone, so that when you start pulling out tones with your eraser, you're pulling out highlights essentially. So what I like to do when I do this is just spend a moment to kind of get the background tone an even tone, or just mass it out. You don't have to have it super even. Look at these little dots here. There's a dot here and a dot here. I think there's I think when I got this drawing board years back, I did a lot of like mixed media pieces on it, or I actually had, excuse me, I had a reserved drawing board that I did with mixed media, but sometimes I would use this one as a mixed media piece or surface to do my mixed media pieces on, and that might be like some paint on the very back of the drawing board and I never removed, or maybe there's like a little rock underneath there. But so there's some bumps happening there, right? So as you can see, you just kind of make it into a flat tone. I'm probably gonna make it. I wonder if I could buy. I think what might help with this is if I can buy like vine charcoal blocks or bricks. I think that's something I should be looking into. I'm gonna have to go do a Google or DuckDuckGo, or just look up on Dick Blick or Hobby Lobby or whatever store what I need to do. So I got this now, and what I typically do for this is I'll do an outline, a quick one, mainly with like straight lines. right? I'll do some straight lines. Kind of like structure it the same way that people do like head structures for their faces, because I am essentially doing a head. I'm doing a skull, so like I kind of have that structure already in place. Just it's more like a it's in it's it's a skull, so it's like the bare bones, pun intended, of it, right? So I'll typically draw out like this kind of like understructure of how I want the skull to kind of look, and it's not going to be the skull that I'm looking like. I use the skull that I have, the skull, the skull mold that I have as like a reference point, and then I kind of, give it a little bit of a artistic touch to it, right? I give it a little bit of an artistic touch to make it feel, just make it more interesting, right? So I'm just adding some little marker lines here, just kind of doing a little bit more reference points. This is probably one of the. I'm doing 4 more reference points with this one than I normally do for my skull drawings. I kind of I typically don't do as many reference points with this. I kind of just like do it by just kind of improvise it, Let's just hope that it finally kind of pans out. Sometimes I do very few reference points. Sometimes I do a lot of reference points. This one just so happens to be one of those drawings where I'm doing more than average, and that's fine too. It's not going to make it. It's only going to make the drawing just a little bit more. I don't know if it's going to make it. It's not necessarily going to make it better, but it's definitely going to add to it. It's not going to hurt it to do that, right? So now I'm just going to darken up the right side, because this side is the darkest. So I'm going to darken up the right side a little bit more, kind of get that going there. So after this 100 days of drawing, I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to change it up. What I like to do is after this one, I'm going to do a whole new type of 100 days of drawing. I'm going to do it all digital. And I think I'm going to do like 30-minute sketches, not gestural drawings, but like do a 30-minute sketch. Try to get as much done as I can. Maybe I'll do like one week or one of those, like 10 days out of those 100. I'll try practicing landscapes. Maybe to 10 days I'll try practicing a figure, or maybe it will be all figure, or maybe I'll set up a still life next to me and I'll draw do digital drawing, but also do a traditional still life alongside. So I'll kind of like mixed both worlds. I'm not getting the skull shape right. It looks more like a helmet. Anyway, so now what I'm going to do is I'm going to take the chamois. I've been using the chamois a lot lately to kind of express form, and I think that's been helpful for me. So I had a little bit of this. But yeah, doing this stuff it's charcoal drawing is incredibly messy. It's messier than I'd like it to be, actually. All right, so now that I've pulled out some tones, time to go back into it and kind of reestablish some lines here, reestablish some things that I need to tighten up a little bit. So I'm going to tighten up this. Oh, I just dropped a piece of charcoal again. Let's tighten this up with another. another line here. So, excuse me. Okay. All right. I think we're getting somewhere. So again, I use the skull as the reference, but I'm not doing it as verbatim, like for various reasons. The time constraints really makes it difficult for me to kind of really sit down and get the proportions and scale right and really develop that. So I'm trying to be a little bit more loose with the way that I'm approaching these. Again, it's the time, right, involved. Like I have 30 minutes to really establish a drawing, and I think today today I am gonna spend only 30 minutes on it, right? So if I don't get it done in 30 minutes, I don't get it done. It's just gonna be like it is what it is, and I'm gonna do another one tomorrow, probably early in the morning. I think maybe I won't. Maybe I'll work on this a little bit tomorrow, take a photo of it, and then I'll start do another one. I think I might have an opening of time that'll allow me to work on it. I'm not sure yet. I'm not quite sure. I'll have to think about it. I probably have some time available to work on this tomorrow morning, or yeah, a little bit tomorrow morning or early afternoon, like right around noon, for about an hour, and then I might have another moment of time to start my next one. So I'm just thinking about I'm just thinking ahead. Sorry. I'm just thinking ahead and thinking about where I have availability with my time. So I'm just trying to strategize ways I can work on these drawings and where my time is involved in them. Oh, I broke it again. I broke that. I'm breaking charcoal sticks like it's going out of style here, fellas. So it's going okay. Like I have 12 minutes and I'm 12 minutes in. I think I'm doing pretty good for the 12 minutes that I'm in. It's structuring really well. Things are going really quickly. Bear in mind that I've done a lot of skulls, so I have, even though like I'm breaking charcoal sticks left and right. I'm gonna have to pull out another charcoal stick, or maybe I'll use this, but I definitely will have to bring another charcoal stick. Yeah, so this is going really smooth for the amount of time that I've invested into it already. So I think I might be kind of angular with this one. It feels like an angular skull. Like it feels like I can just do kind of a more straight kind of looking skull here, work with some straight edges, kind of maybe be a little bit, maybe overemphasize the straight, jagged feeling. So I think I might push that a little bit more for this one, right? So kind of get that straight look and feel with the lines and angles, just something I might deal with. And sometimes when I draw these, I like to do like a cross contour sometimes. So I've been doing a lot of that, and not a lot of it, but like the last two, I've done like these kind of cross contour lines, just to kind of express form a little bit in a different manner to my drawings. I think partially because it reminds me of like Juan Uglo. I was kind of a fan of him, of his work when I went to grad school. I liked how Juan Uglo did his paintings and his figures, and he did these like really interesting like structural analysis of form using lines and such, and I really, it kind of resonated with me. I appreciated that type of strategy because it's like it reminded me of like a way of drawing that was kind of reminiscent of like so I'm exaggerating the bridge of this nose. It's actually more to a slight angle, and it's lower on the mouth, but I'm exaggerating it for this piece, mainly because I messed up, and I'm not going to spend the time correcting it. But I exaggerated it for that reason, because the amount of time it will take to kind of make those corrections will put me back, and I don't have that kind of time to kind of fiddle around with the drawing, you know. So it's just one of those things. You got to kind of decide what you're gonna do, right? You kind of have to decide what you have to do with your drawing, and you got to know like time. You got to think about time. Time is an issue when you're drawing, and you got to consider how much time you're willing to work on your piece, right? You know, you can't treat your drawing like it's going to be a project that you can work on it forever and ever. Although there's a lot of artists that do really well doing that. Like they do really, really well working on a drawing indefinitely until they feel it's done, you know, and they're like, there's no like time limit to finishing it, you know, and that's great for them. But for this type of drawing, this drawing methodology for me at this time in my life, I can't say I'm going to make this a 30-hour drawing and then some, right? It's going to be like, if it's not done in this time frame, it's not going to get done, because I don't have that spare time to work on it, you know. So it's just one of those things. You gotta choose your battles, and this is one of those battles I'm choosing. I'm trying to just deciding that this is gonna be it's like really windy in my studio. Oh, no, it's gonna be one of those drawings where I have to knock it out at a certain time frame, and if I don't get that time frame done, then this is where it's going to be. This is going to be the level of completion for it, you know, and that's fine too. Like one thing about doing these drawings, these 30-minute drawings has really helped me out with is kind of like just letting it go, you know. There's this knowing when the kind of not knowing when to stop. Like just if you can't finish it in the time frame and it doesn't happen, if the powers that be don't allow you to kind of finish it, you learn a few things. You learn, especially since I'm only working on one object, you learn how to leave certain areas kind of vague and others not, others a little bit more defined, right? So that's helped me with that. Now, when I started working with multiple objects, I was really struggling on figuring out which areas to leave kind of vague, right? There's like, which ones do I kind of work on? Which ones do I not work on? Which areas, right? And so I draw all the time, and well, hopefully, I think I've been improved. I don't know. It's hard to really like kind of look at your work in that way when you're drawing constantly. It's kind of like to see the improvement. You would have to I guess you would have to take all your drawings that you made and take photos of them, each one by one, and like do a time lapse sequence showing each one after the other, right? I think that's what you would have to do in order to see the if there was any verifiable like improvement, and it had to be kind of like a time lapse almost. So I don't know. Maybe I am improving. There's certain things that have gotten a little bit better. I think my line weight, the ability to manipulate line weight with the the charcoal block has improved. I was kind of tentative with it when I first started out, but now I think I'm a little bit better on creating those marks. So maybe in that regard, I've improved, right? So doing these drawings and these type of drawings have really helped me kind of just, I think, overall get better. You know, not like become special, like certainly specialized. I'm not like improved in one genre of drawing. I've gotten better in kind of like just in general, you know. So I think for the next 30 or so drawings, what I'm going to do is I'm just going to do skulls. I don't mind drawing skulls. I think I like doing them because I think it's because you can. I just kind of get the structures. The structure just makes sense to me. Just like it's blocky. It's not super curvilinear. It's jagged. It's rough. I can kind of get away with not rendering a lot of the areas. And there's something about not being something that's appealing to me, that not being being able to not have to render areas and then people see those structures without me actually having to model them directly is very appealing to me. Like I don't like creating gradual value range, you know. I don't like doing light to dark with that smooth transitional tone. I just don't like blending that way. And with skulls, you can kind of get away with certain things, or at least that's just my opinion. Maybe I'm wrong. I could very well be like, you're wrong, Matt. You don't know what you're talking about. You're not getting away with anything. Your drawings suck. I'm like, well, hey, bro. I'm not going on your channel telling you that your drawings suck. And the guy or girl's like, or woman is like, well, you can't tell me my drawings suck because they're awesome and they don't suck. Well, even if they did suck, I wouldn't tell you in front of your face. That's just rude. You know. So right now, what's been kind of different with these drawings is I've been using Conte crown. So I've been mixing Conte crown with charcoal stick, and I don't know which one is which until I start drawing with it. So like this is a charcoal block, and then the other one that I was just using is a Conte crown. And what the Conte crown kind of does, it kind of creates I guess the best way of me explaining it's kind of waxy. Like I think when they combine the Conte, when they bind it together, they use like some sort of wax or something, some sort of wax binder. So it feels like a crayon. Like, so that's like a dense black crayon, you know, and it just has a different feel to it. I think you can make sharper lines. They're not as dark as like a charcoal block line, but you can make sharper lines that you can go over. At least that's how I feel when I'm working with them. So I have about 7 minutes before I call it not call it a day, but definitely take a break, and then I'll probably spend another 10-20 minutes on this tomorrow before I start my next drawing. The one thing that I've been doing is that my even though I've been saying a drawing a day, I've been kind of depending on the day and my schedule. Lately, my schedule's been really hectic because I've been trying to coordinate my next batch of artist interviews. My school semester teaching's kind of wrapping up, and so there's a lot of things kind of bogging my free time around. So like what I've been doing is I've been spending kind of like there's been an overlay of my drawing. So like if whatever I don't finish today, I'll drag on tomorrow, finish it up, post it, and then I'll start a new drawing the same day. You know, spend 30 minutes on it. So like these drawings I'm spending on that you see me drawing on, I'm spending anywhere from like 30 minutes to like an hour on. And I think that's a pretty good amount of time for a skull sketch. You know, it's not an extraordinary amount of time on a skull drawing, definitely. But for what is entailed and what kind of comes of it from it, it's not a bad deal. They turn out pretty well. They have some unique qualities in them that I kind of appreciate. I think a lot of people do appreciate too. But it's not a bad deal for how long I'm spending on them. They turn out pretty well. They have a nice little unique quality to them. You know. So that's the timer. I have roughly like 5 minutes before I've been officially drawing on it for 30 minutes. And so as you can see, it's pretty good drawing for 30 minutes of time. I've kind of fleshed out certain tones. You kind of got like the back. There's a little like the background warmth. It's not a bad drawing. Again, though, it's not like it's as I say about with all my drawings. It's not like it's not like the greatest drawing ever. But it's, as I said, like it's not a bad drawing. But I'm not going to be winning. It's not going to be winning any type of like drawing awards. Maybe it will. Maybe it does. Maybe it will win awards. But it's not. I don't think it will. It's just a standard skull drawing, right? It's not. It doesn't even look like the skull that I see. But I'm using the skull that I have here as a reference. If I were to pursue this drawing as a 30-hour drawing, I'd probably spend more time. And if I was trying to capture the likeness of the skull that I see right here, I'd slow down drastically, and I'd really observe, and I'd be a little bit more aware of my marks, and I'd actually question, is this the right form? Is this the right like mark? Am I what am I missing? I'd spend a lot more time observing, and it'd be less kinetic. So like these 30-minute drawings, they're more kinetic. They got a lot of more energy to them. They're kind of raw. They're more raw. They got this, they got a quality that you can get at a drawing that's longer, but it's got to be treated the same way. So like if I were to I could treat this drawing like a 30-hour drawing and still keep drawing the way that I'm drawing. And it won't look like the object that I'm drawing, but it'll get slowly closer to it, and more things will occur. There'd be more energy, more kinetic like movement, but it probably wouldn't end up looking like the skull that I'm drawing from as a reference point, simply because to maintain some of the energy, I'd have to give up some of the accuracy, I guess. So I guess like maybe it'd be like someone who has like a really, really powerful slap shot, but really has pitiful accuracy. They can really hit that puck hard, but their accuracy is like terrible. It's like the Mighty Ducks character. Yeah, he could slap shot like so hard, but his aim was atrocious, apparently, right? In the movie, same thing, right? So that's what it would be like. So I'd get, yeah. So there we go. Anyways, 1 minute 24 seconds. What do I do in that time frame? Maybe just play around with this area. Maybe. I think with the next the next time that I work on this, I'll probably spend some time kind of developing certain areas, because the reason why the contrast is so vivid now is because I'm in a dark area. It's dark. It's nighttime. and if the next time I draw this, it will be daytime, so I won't have the contrast that I'm looking for, but I will be able to see details that wasn't available to me the next like at this time right now. So there will be a benefit to drawing on this a little bit later on, is I'll be drawing on it at a later time, a time where I can see more. But there's also a pushback, like, because I can see more, it means that the contrast that I'm seeing right now I'm not going to get. So I'm going to have to if I were to work on it during the daytime, I have to exaggerate the contrast a little bit more to get the same effect on purpose, even though I'm not seeing that. All right, so that's the 30-minute marker. I think what I'm going to do is I'm just going to finish this area right here. Just kind of make a little sweep, and then just call it a day. For now, I'm going to wipe my hands with these wet wipes like usual. So I just want to say thank you for watching. Really do appreciate you. If you're interested in any of my artwork, all the work that you see on these videos is up for sale. And just contact me and say, I want that skull. I'm like, it's yours, bro. And then you make a transaction. I send it to you, and you can hang it up in your house. If you like what you see, don't forget to like, comment, share, and subscribe, but not necessarily in that order. Feel free to share this to your other friends. Tell them about me. Definitely comment, like, and share, subscribe. That really helps out. It's just as important as a possible purchase. Not that I'm trying to hawk drawings onto you, but you know what? If you are interested, definitely drop me a line and subscribe and hit the notifications bell, because I do these every day for at least the next 25 days or so. No, yeah, for the next 30 days or so, 30 more days of this. So it's the 72nd day. So I got some more time available, or I'm going to be drawing more for about 30 more days, and so forth. Anyways, I just want to say thank you so much for dropping by. Please follow me on whatever platform you're watching this on. I totally appreciate you. I hope you have a wonderful Sunday. But I got to get going. I got to enjoy the rest of my evening, what little evening I have left. And, I hope you enjoy the rest of your evening as well. Thank you so much. Cheers.